Chapter 16. So Asa, being converted, gave up all he had on earth, and went and lived with the poor, carrying the alms bowl for 1 year, preaching and praying for the poor. And it came to pass that at the end of the year he had thousands of followers. And he built altars for them, teaching them to worship the Creator, to restore the mark of circumcision, to be upright before men, to labor for the helpless and distressed, and to do not to any man that which they desired not to be done unto themselves. And these people took the name of Zarathustrians, in contradistinction from the Parseans. Nevertheless, they were the Ion race, and the Gans. And because of their religion, they could not own property, neither houses, nor lands, nor cattle, nor beasts of burden. Many of them gave themselves into servitude to the Parseans, but many of them lived on the contributions brought by converts, who had had great possessions. Now it so turned out, that when Asa abdicated the throne, there were many aspirants to his place, and the council of the sun was puzzled to know whom to select, that peace might remain in Oas. But they finally made Hiotzion king, because he was a great warrior, having bestowed to the city's walls and gates more than 10,000 skulls from the refractory tribes adjacent. Hiotzion assumed the titles of his predecessors, chief of which were King of the Sun, King of Kings, and King of Oas, the central city of all the world, and sent his proclamations to the chief cities of Japheth and Shem and Ham, commanding earth, water, and fruit, to be sent to him from every place under the sun. And he stipulated certain presents that must be sent to him every year, amongst which were thousands of subjects, that is, slaves. Hiotzion was a man of great learning, and had traveled far and near, and he knew the people and the lands of the earth, and he knew the different products of the different lands, and the number of peoples in the great cities of the world, and the number of warriors belonging to the different sub-kings under him. Besides these things he knew the stars and their places, and the groups of cows and horses, and bulls, and bears, and lions, and fishes, and serpents, even as they had been taught in the higher 10 period, amongst the ancients. Hiotzion said, "The fate hath made me king of all the world, hence it is right that I am king." He said, "It is evident, because Asa abdicated the throne, that man must have a religion." He said, "Because I know all the rites and ceremonies of the ancients, I will give man a religion on my own account." He said, "Because Asa commanded the Zarathustrian religion unto the far-off kingdoms, then are Asa and Zarathustra my enemies." He said, "Let my officers arrest Asa and Zarathustra, and bring them before me. I will make an example of them." And on the day that Asa was arrested, behold, the year of his carrying the alms bowl was ended. Asa and Hiotzion had known each other for many years. When Asa was before the king, he said, "I have nothing in all this world. Why, then, hast thou arrested me?" The king said, "Because thou gavest away thy possessions, thou art the most dangerous of men. I have decreed thee to be put to death. Art thou prepared?" Asa said, "Yea, O king. And yet, because of our long acquaintance, I ask of thee one boon, which is, that I may be put to death according to the Panic rites which were before the flood. And if, perchance, it be proved to thee there is a God with power to release me, and he so doeth it, then shall not thy hand be raised against me?" The king said, "Thy boon is granted." Accordingly, the wheel of Edgar was built and Asa was bound upon it, the king having appointed a guard to watch him till he should die. But because of the king's fear that the test might be tampered with, he caused the juggernaut, that is, juggernaut, to be set up in his private piazza, with the Edgar facing the gate of lions, so that his private attendants might also watch. Great was the wailing and crying of the people when it was known that Asa had been decreed to death. the city of Oas became as a house of mourning and madness, and it was divided against itself, some for Asha, and some for the king. Because Asha was old, and thus in view of the king all day, the king repented, but he had no power, under the laws, to set aside his own decree. And when the sun went down, the king went before Asha, saying, Behold, thou hast been 6 hours on the wheel, and yet thy God hath not come to release thee. This is a great torture, and I weep for thee. If thou wilt, therefore, slay thyself with a sword, I will have thee taken down. Asha said, I declare unto thee, O king, I have no pain. Whether it be my madness, or whether it be the gods favor me, what mattereth it, since I suffer not? Nor have I right to slay myself, since I created not myself alive. Moreover, if it be the will of my Creator, Ormuzd, that I die on the wheel, then it is just. If it be not his will, then will he release me. Therefore, O king, I am content. The king said, This indifference cometh of madness. And thy madness hath affected the city of the sun. Have thy way, then, and die. The king returned into his palace, but on the next morning he came again, making the same proposal, and receiving similar answers. And at night he came again, repeating his offer, and again being refused, determined to come no more. Now on the night of the 3rd day, Asha felt the power of Ahura coming upon him, and he said unto the guard, Behold, this night I shall be released. See to it, therefore, as to whether the thongs are well fastened. For, if it so turn out, that the Father release me, then will ye stand before the king accused of conniving at my release. Accordingly, the guard re-examined the fastenings, and sent word to the king of what Asha had said. And the king replied, Nay, if he be released, then will I know of a truth there is a God, neither shall one man of my guardsmen stand accused. This they told to Asha, and Asha said, I say unto you, not only one shall stand accused, but all of you. And there were of them 100, being to watches of 50 each, but it being the change of watch, they all heard, and they laughed in derision. And behold, in that same moment of time, the thongs fell off, and Ahura delivered Asha down from the Ahika. And the spirit of Ahura was in Asha, nor was Asha himself, though knowing to the things done through him. Ahura said,
Go ye and say to the king, Behold, Asha is delivered by the power of his God.
Then the guardsman said, It is not morning. The king sleepeth. Ahura said,
I say unto you, the king sleepeth not, but is joyful in drinking wine with his courtier.
As they went, then, and told the king, finding, of a truth, he slept not. And the king commanded them to bring Asha before him, which they did. He sighing said, What profit have my guardsmen in releasing this old man? Behold, it hath been said, that thou, Asha, hadst gold and silver hidden away. I know now of a truth thou hast bribed these guardsmen to set thee free. For which reason, every man of these guardsmen shall be put to death, and their skulls mounted on the walls of Oas, and their skins stand for leather. Away with them, ye marshals, bind them till the rising sun, and at that hour hew off their heads, as I have decreed. And now, as for thee, thou old hypocrite and destroyer of liberty, what sayest thou? Asha said, According to thy promise I should now be free. There was no stipulation in thy decree, that I should not bribe thy guardsmen. Behold then, my wisdom. Have I not revealed to thee that thou canst not trust any man? The king said, Thou art the wisest of men. I had hoped to hear thee say thy God release thee, and I had here 12 swordsmen, to hew off thy head. But because thou hast shown me great craft, thou shalt live for a season, but only on condition, that thou shalt leave Oas, and never return. Then spake Ahura through Asha, saying,
thou hast decreed the guardsmen to death at sunrise. Now I declare unto thee, O king, not one of them shall die, as thou hast decreed. But I who am Mazda, will deliver them. Think not that I'm Asher, I'm not Asher, but a spirit, the god of the Ihuans. Neither will I spirit away thy guardsmen by a miracle, but by natural means, and I will show thee, that I'm mightier than all kings.
The king said, It cannot be that there are gods or spirits. Is man's judgment nothing? These things were suited to the Dark Ages. They affrighted men to justice, and so far served a purpose. But in this enlightened age man shall know justice and wisdom of himself. Whilst the king yet spake, Mazda caused the attending spirits to assume mortal form by the curtains of Arisi, back of the king, and they made a noise so that the king turned to look, and lo, and behold, he saw them. He feared, not knowing, but they were evil persons concealed, and he said, Robbers, murders. And he drew his sword and thrust at them, but they vanished. He said, Verily art thou a devil, O Asha. And he thrust his sword at Asha, but it fell from the handle. He said, Ye fates! Kill him! Kill him! And whilst he was thus puzzled, Asha walked forth out of the palace, nor would the king's guards lay hands on him.